this beautiful human being that I found at the Jolly Gator. In between the airboats going in and out. You had to be kind of play loud because they drown out the musicians sometimes. I was thinking the other day, I actually got the calculator out on the computer, that we spent 6% of his life together. And I said, well, I'm gonna cheat a little bit, you know, from when he was an adult. So then I had 9%.
Round up to 10.
Yeah, we'll round up to 10% of his life together. But what a 6% it was. I literally have never met a more gentle, loving, giving human being. And I see now that Mead and Eric are here. Mead and Eric are the people building our garage. They felt the love from him as well, and they've chosen to be here, and I thank you very much. Our anniversary was January 10th, our anniversary. And he came in with a dozen red roses. And we talked about getting married. We were going to get around to it at some point. But he said, I want you to be my wife. And then he handed me a card. And inside it just said, be my wife. And I said, what good is this? You didn't even sign it. I said, this could be just some random guy. So he took it away from me and he wrote Thomas Daniel White. And he underlined it 3 times. Just to make sure that I knew he really meant it. And it was good to be able to get a joke on him, because if you knew him at all, you know that he always went for the joke. Even if it wasn't there, he went for the joke. But I have to tell you, my all-time favorite, we were driving to Orlando one day, and there was this big cell phone tower. It was covered with birds. There had to be hundreds of birds on this cell phone. And he says, oh, it must be a why-fly zone. The girls could probably tell you all kinds of jokes that didn't go over anywhere near as well. There was almost a childlike innocence and openness. He enjoyed everything, and particularly the last few months. I can only describe his mood as blissful. He loved the home we bought here. I'd get up in the morning, usually after him, and he'd be out on the deck, whether it was freezing cold or not, with a cell phone camera or his camera, and he'd just sigh. And we'd be coming home from the grocery store and we'd say, I can't believe we live here. I mean, he was just so happy. And people would say, oh, Gail, you know, you've been so good for me. I said, look, I got the better end of the deal here. I think for the first time in my life, I really experienced unconditional love. He loved me when I was grouchy. He loved me when we operated at 2 different speeds. I'm like, hurry, hurry, hurry. And he's, relax, we'll get there when we get there. And you know, he was right. We do need to slow down and just appreciate what's going on around us every day. And he was great at that. I need a little bit of a wet my whistle here, but. Tom, I believe, very strongly sent me a message the day after he passed. Reverend Steve and Mary came, and I had this throw on the sofa to intercept cat hair, and I could throw it in the washer every so often. So Mary's got a black dress on, and he's in navy blue. So I said, look, let me move this before you sit down. So I set it aside, kind of half folded it on the floor. that evening after they'd left and everything, I picked that up to put it back on the sofa. And a feather this long fell out of it. And I'm like, how the heck could that have gotten in the house? It's not like it was a small feather that someone could have, tracked in or something. And I just looked at it and I noticed it was broken in the middle. And so then I smiled and I said, well, of course, Tom, it would be about music. Take these broken wings and learn to fly again. Learn to live soft. Yeah. So I know he's around. He keeps leaving me pennies, even though they weren't there the day before. And I know it because I got one, and then I looked all over the floor. There were no pennies there. I got in the Xterra yesterday, and there were 2 pennies on the floor. They tell me this is going to get easier. There's such a hole. I know he's around. And sometimes I say, well, yeah, a heck of a lot of good that does me. I can't see you. And I don't want to forget what it felt like when he put his arms around me. All I can do is know that we will be together again one day. I know that. And I'm grateful for 4 years, because a lot of people don't get that. And I'm also grateful that he didn't go through a long period of failing health. You see so many people who have to go through that. It was relatively quick and painless. And so I'm grateful for that too. And I'm grateful for every one of you in this room. The love and support has helped lift me through this tragic time. And I can't tell you how much I love you all. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being there for me. And I know you will continue to be. I love you, Kate and Liz, and you're always going to be family. And George and Kathy and Erica and Cheyenne. Erica Cheyenne, I'm sorry. And Amanda. And Con. And Gregory. And on and on. So.
We love you, Gail.
I got one other message. My other sister Carol was with us. And she brought War and Peace. She decided she was going to read War and Peace. So I picked it up, and I opened it up, just at random, and I started reading. And I've edited it down a little bit, which at other times would be hilarious, that I'm editing Leo Tolstoy. I thought he was a little wordy, but this is what I read. We who are now the children of the earth are eternally children of the whole universe. I form one link, one step between the lower and higher beings in this vast, harmonious multitude of beings in whom the deity is manifest. I cannot vanish, since nothing vanishes in this world. I shall always exist and always have existed. Beyond me and above me there are spirits, and in this world there is truth. Incredible. Thank you again, everybody.
Amen.